Balatro, an indie roguelike deck-building game that quickly became a global sensation in the gaming community. It received rave reviews from both critics and players, sold over 2 million copies in just 6 months, and even snagged the Best Independent Game Award at the Game Awards in 2024. These accomplishments are especially impressive when you consider the game's development was the work of just one person. The game's mysterious creator, known by the alias local Thunk, never expected this level of success. In fact, he initially thought maybe 6 people would buy the game. When asked on Twitter about his expectations for the game, he humorously responded, "I was expecting like 4 of my friends and my parents to buy the game, and that would have been awesome." So no, this entire year has been a series of crazy events. But how did this solo developer end up creating a game that turned into a global phenomenon? Let's dive into the story. Local Thunk's journey into game development began during his university years. While studying mechanical engineering, he realized he had a passion for game creation. Starting with simple projects, he found joy in the process, which led him to make a bold decision, switching to computer science. Around the same time, he began working on a more ambitious project, a game inspired by Risk. This strategy-based game featured a dynamic world of countries with geographically accurate names. After 2 years of work, he had a game, but only a handful of people saw it. The game was mostly shared with close friends and family, people he trusted that would appreciate the game. After graduating, he worked a normal job while continuing to develop games in his free time. It wasn't until 2021 that he found himself with unused vacation days and decided to dedicate December to prototyping a new game. That project would eventually become Balatro, the game that would change everything for him. The early idea came from the Cantonese game Big 2, which had been a favorite pastime for him and his friends during high school. The simplicity of the rules combined with the depth of strategy fascinated him, and he wanted to recreate the same magic in a video game. Originally, he envisioned it as a multiplayer game to capture the competitive and social aspect of Big 2. However, as he delved into the project, he began exploring new directions. Inspired by Luck Be a Landlord, a roguelike slot machine game, he realized the potential of merging Big 2 style gameplay with the emergent complexity and replayability of a roguelike deck builder game. This marked a turning point for the project. In Balatro, you start out with a virtual deck of 52 standard playing cards, and a series of simplistic, slightly uninspiring numbers called blinds. Blinds serve as the game's bosses, and each time you battle them using your deck of cards to build the best possible combination, each card is scored individually, and once scored, it earns you chips. This is essentially the game's point system. To defeat a blind, you must score a specific number of points before running out of hands to play. As you progress, the blinds get increasingly difficult, requiring more points to overcome. This escalating challenge forces players to strategize carefully, aiming to create better combinations of cards for higher scores. The better combinations, we're talking about the poker hands. Now if you're new to poker, here's a quick overview. The game shows you a list of possible hands ranging from the easiest to most challenging. For example, a flush 5 high card of the same suit earns significantly more points than a simple pair. The scoring system rewards players for assembling more difficult combinations, multiplying the points accordingly. A pair might double your card's scores, but a flush quadruples them, making it crucial to aim for these higher value cards. But this isn't all that makes the game so addictive. One feature that it has is the introduction of the shop. As you progress through the game, blinds become harder to defeat with an ever-increasing chip value. But don't worry, this is where the shop comes in. After every round, you win some money, and this money is used in the shop that appears at the end of every battle. This shop allows you to buy better cards, add bonuses, and my favorite feature, the introduction of the Joker cards. Jokers are what really shake up the game, and there are currently 150 Joker cards in the game, and each and every one of them brings a unique twist that can help you get further and further along in your run and earn more points. They are pretty much passive buffs that change the value of certain cards, earn you more points and multipliers, or do other things that change the formula that give you a higher chance of winning, but you can only have up to 5 of them at any given point. Another addition is the use of planet and tarot cards. Planets are like single one-time use consumables that upgrade the level of played hands. So that level 1 pair that gave you a ×2 multiplier can now be turned into a ×3, ×4, and so on. They are crucial to having a good run, and add another layer of complexity and depth to the game as you have to decide which planet cards to use and which hands you want to upgrade. Tarot cards are similar, but instead of upgrading a playing hand, they upgrade the cards directly. This means that you can upgrade the raw value of the chips and the multiplier that a card gives you on top of the bonus that you get from the hand. This fusion of ideas created a fresh and addictive gameplay loop that appealed to a wide audience. But despite its eventual success, the journey wasn't without hurdles. Developing a game as a solo creator meant balancing all aspects of production. designing, coding, and even marketing. Local Thunk had to make tough decisions, cutting features and streamlining mechanics to ensure the games remained accessible without sacrificing depth. Visually, Balatro started with a simple design, but as the game evolved, so did the aesthetic. Drawing inspiration from the retro CRT visual and surreal animation, the game's presentation became one of its standout features. This attention to detail helped the game establish a distinct identity in the crowded indie market. By the time Balatro launched in 2024, it had already garnered attention through word of mouth and a small but enthusiastic beta testing community. Upon release, it quickly gained traction on platforms like Steam and Twitch, where streamers showcased the game's quirky mechanics and satisfying gameplay. What began as a passion project inspired by a humble card game had transformed into a global phenomenon. Despite this success, the journey wasn't without its challenges. The game faced controversy when the PEGI rating board changed its age rating from 3+ to 18+, due to concerns about gambling content. This surprised Local Thunk and his publisher, PlayStack, as they had already addressed these issues months before. Nevertheless, Balatro returned to most digital stores, though the 18+ rating still remained. Now, even with the overwhelming success of Balatro, Local Thunk remains focused on his next steps. He continues to update and refine the game, with plans for new content in 2025, and as for future projects, he's eager to return to his roots. I'm Ethan from ImagineGG, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more content. We do game reviews, game analysis, and game synopsis, and we hope you guys enjoy, and see you next video.